going all in. I was thinking if I'm gonna leave Hawaii, I might as well go as far as I can. I'm gonna go to Vietnam. So I just really wanted that culture shock. Just go somewhere that I don't know anybody. Just like a fresh start to shifting your mindset to like,
Yeah.
there's no way I could do this to I think I can do this. The next step is probably like just being realistic. Like, how much do you have saved up? I also like sold everything too. I kind of like didn't really give myself a backup.
Hey, what's up? I'm Evan.
I'm Corey.
Nice to meet you, Corey.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cost of Living Abroad pod. Let's just like jump right into it. Why take the leap? Why make the big move? Why did you leave the United States and home and come to Vietnam?
I was born and raised in Hawaii. I lived there for about 32 years. And for me, like living on such a small island, I think it got too cramped for me, and there was not that many job opportunities, and I was looking for a way out for a long time. I was thinking of like just moving to the mainland, of just trying anything really, but for so long I was kind of just stuck in the same place. I didn't know how to leave. Maybe I was kind of afraid too. I didn't really know how to like get out of where I was.
Your long-term plan, like have you traveled elsewhere around Southeast Asia yet? Are you sort of like, you got to Da Nang and you love it?
When I was looking into living abroad, I did hear that there's a bunch of digital nomad hotspots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Indonesia, Philippines. I'm not really sure exactly why I chose Vietnam, but originally everyone was telling me that I should just go to Japan because, well, I'm Japanese and I speak some Japanese decently. But I think I just wanted to go somewhere that I've never been before because in my mind, I was just so comfortable, like being like in Hawaii, you know, just so used to seeing everything that I was already like that I knew. So I just really wanted that culture shock. Just go somewhere that I don't know anybody. Maybe just like a fresh start, I guess.
One of the reasons why I took the job in Vietnam was that I wanted the risk, the challenge
Yeah.
of going somewhere I'd never been. You know, what if this is one of my last chances to really
Yeah.
do that, right? To go somewhere
Exactly.
totally new. People in North America don't know much about Vietnam,
Yeah.
right? Other than the Viet Q communities,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of like broader knowledge about what it's actually like here
Yeah.
now. So yeah, let's shift into that. What were some of the misconceptions or the stereotypes or the things you'd heard about Vietnam before you got here that
Yeah.
you know, your experience on the ground and being here just kind of exploded? Or
Yeah. I mean, when I first told my parents, they're like, "Oh, but Vietnam is so dangerous. It's like a third world country, you know. Like maybe there's nothing there." Or, I don't really know, and I didn't know what to expect either. But I mean, just from what I saw in the YouTube videos and doing a little bit of research, I mean, I saw the statistics. It's like, hey, actually, Vietnam's one of the safest countries in the world. So I wasn't too worried about that. But then also, yeah, everyone's like, but you don't speak Vietnamese, you don't know Vietnamese, how are you gonna get around? Yeah, I just kept digging, doing a little bit more research, and it seems like, yeah, there's a big community of expats. And if you just join the Facebook groups beforehand, I think you can see, or you can talk to people who's already lived there and see, ask for advice, ask for tips.
Facebook has a kind of different perception at home of what it's for, how it's used, but
Yeah.
in Vietnam and other countries around Southeast Asia, it's such an enormous, like, the community aspect through groups,
Yeah.
and then also like the marketplace and business aspect of it being like, you know, the equivalent of it's like Craigslist.
Yeah,
Here
exactly.
it is the
Yeah.
Craigslist of Asia, right? And it's just like,
So actually, when I was in America, I almost never used Facebook
yeah, of
because
course.
yeah, I think yeah, just Americans don't really use Facebook anymore. I'm not sure, but yeah, I joined. I think it was just like I don't know what the exact group name is, but just like expats in Da Nang or something like that.
Yeah.
Then there's like the housing, renting apartments in Da Nang, just seeing what's out there. I think mostly though, was watching YouTube videos and just
And
watching people walk around and like this costs $1. This yeah.
we talked about it a bit off camera. The algorithm and the way the format of YouTube pushes certain things to the forefront and things that are like any legacy media that are attention grabbing, right?
Yes.
That are like headlines. But then there's also the aspect of it that here is authentic, right? That you really can eat for a whole day in Vietnam on $10, or
Yes.
you really can
Yeah.
go get a bowl of noodles for $1.
Yeah.
Like, it is not hard to find whatever, a $200 apartment, a $500 apartment, a $1,000 apartment. Tell me about finding your apartment, you know, getting your visa, getting your bank.
Like the first day I got here, that was a culture shock for me. I mean, I was like, how do I even walk on the street? I mean,
Yeah,
the sidewalks are cracked. There's motorbikes everywhere, and everyone's honking. Yeah, it was like so much. That's like so much input, so much new input. Like I wasn't used to any of it, and I was a little like worried at the beginning. Yeah, like what did what did I just get myself into? But I promised myself, like, before I went, I said I would live here for at least a year and, like, really give it a chance and see if I could, make it out here. So I wasn't going to give up. Literally the next day, I met a bunch of other travelers because I was staying at a hostel.
yeah.
And yeah, they were so cool. And then we just started hanging out a lot. They were so comfortable here already. They'd been here for a while. And yeah, I saw that, wow, okay, foreigners can really you know, uh, be very comfortable here. Because actually, yeah, when I first came here, I had seen all the YouTube videos on scams.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, if you have your phone in your hand, somebody's gonna rip it out of your
Yeah.
hand. But I guess that's mostly other places, not Da Nang.
The motorbike snatch and grabs and
Yeah,
stuff, which
yeah,
are real. Like
yeah,
that does
definitely.
happen, but
Yeah,
yeah, probably more in like Saigon or
yeah,
Cambodia, Phnom Penh or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first got here, I would just like I'd had my phone and I'm just like trying to I'm trying to find out where to go, where to even buy a bottle of water. I didn't know what I was doing, and then after I met the other travelers, they're like so chill. I was like, okay, I'm being way too paranoid, and yeah, it's very safe here, so I didn't have to worry at all after that. Like one of the first things on my list was just finding a place,
Yeah. So how'd
and
you find the apartment?
I had a hostel for a week. Then I spent a little too long playing around with my newfound friends. And so then I had to rent an Airbnb for another week and then search. And so yeah, I just went on that Facebook group, housing apartments,
Hmm.
Da Nang. I made a post. I just said my budget is uh, I don't know, probably like 10 million.
Yeah.
Uh, Studio is fine. Uh, like fully furnished, just like whatever basic stuff. And yeah, in like 5 minutes, I had like 30 replies. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone's reaching out. They're like, DM me, DM me. And so yeah, I just went on a couple tours. Or I mean, there's a bunch of agents that just took me around to a couple places. And I think yeah, you really have to you have to go check it out in person because yeah, the pictures aren't what it looks like.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's worth living somewhere for a week or a couple weeks
yeah,
while you're here.
yeah,
Looking around in person, like the websites and Facebook help, but
yeah,
also like seeing what's out there because
yeah,
our
exactly.
preconceived notions of the value, right? Like in your head, what you said 10 million, which is like 400 US bucks. What you think in your head 400 US dollars is worth
Yeah,
at
yeah, you
home
don't
or
really
wherever you're
know.
coming from
Yeah,
versus when you get around here and you see what like, oh, okay, I can rent that house for
yeah,
500 bucks. Or
yeah.
like, oh, okay, this luxury place is still $1,000 because it's a brand new condo targeting
Yeah,
tourists or
yeah,
short-term stays or
yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah,
Like that.
exactly.
So tell me about the apartment you found.
Yeah, it's exactly like you said. When I first got here, I didn't really know the relative prices of anything, and at that time, I was still really scared. I just got there, I didn't know what I was doing. I was afraid of getting ripped off, basically. After going to enough places, after and seeing the price of each place, then I kind of got like an idea. I think, like you said, it would have been really helpful to have maybe a guy who's bilingual who can show you
Yeah,
around. That would have been ideal. But I just did it on my own. Um, yeah, and I ended up finding this spot like right next to the beach. It's
yeah, yeah.
really nice, and yeah, it's about 5 million a month.
Oh,
So it was
so you're paying half your
yeah,
half your
yeah,
original budget to live right by
yeah.
the beach. So
I was shocked. Yeah.
yeah, $5 million is like $200 US, right?
Yes, yes.
Studio unit, a one bedroom. What's the living situation?
It's a studio, but it's actually really big. I mean, the ceilings are so high.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's quite spacious. Like perfect for me, honestly. Yeah, it comes with free cleaning bi-weekly. That's like completely unheard of. Like,
at home. Yeah.
yeah, so free cleaning. I do pay for electricity and water, but water is like $3 a month. Electricity usually under it's between like 30 and 40 a month, depending on how much AC I use. Maybe now that it's getting hotter, I need to use the cost might go up. But yeah, no, I love that place.
Things that I think of as being extremely luxury at home.
Mhm.
Things like having someone else clean for you,
Yeah,
eating out all the time,
yeah,
and childcare for me is a big one, right? Like at
yeah,
home, we would just have zero childcare.
yeah.
Like most kids in Vietnam start daycare at 18 months, right? And
Oh wow.
daycare is priced in a way here
Yeah.
that like almost everyone can bring their kids to daycare, right?
Oh,
Whereas like
that's awesome. Yeah.
at home, like that's pretty rare, right? Like
Yeah.
most people
Yeah.
got to figure it out until you can get your kid in public school.
Yeah.
So what are some of the like those things, like the cultural gaps, negative or positive, the sort of surprises about your life living abroad and like your life in Vietnam?
Well, getting used to the traffic, I guess that's like a big thing. That's what everyone talks about.
Yeah,
Just like crossing the street and renting a motorbike. What shocks me is that it's still like it's like impossible to get a license as an American. So everyone, I guess, is just riding dirty.
yeah. That's funny. I was talking with someone about that yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to
Yeah.
get any kind of real license.
Yeah.
I had a Canadian friend come recently, and
Yeah.
he lives in Thailand. He's
Yeah.
not like a never left home kind of guy.
Yeah.
And the things that he expected when he got here,
Yeah.
i.e., things you can get in Thailand,
Uh-huh.
he was shocked he couldn't rent a car at the airport.
Uh,
Was confused in general that he wasn't going to drive himself and his family everywhere.
yeah.
How
Oh.
about the noise pollution in Vietnam? How has that affected you?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of noise pollution. The karaoke, the construction, like that is a issue. I mean, like sometimes I'll wake up at like 6 or 7 in the morning and they're already like hammering away. But I mean, if you have all your windows closed and you have earplugs, I feel like you can get used to it. It's not too bad. But yeah, getting used to the motorbike. When I first got here, I was using Grab for like the whole month, the whole first month. I was like too scared to drive or anything.
Yeah.
Just I didn't even know what the rules were of traffic. But yeah, after that first month, I eventually was like, okay, I gotta learn how to drive at some point. And yeah, I just rented a bike. I talked to the rental person, and she said like in her 10 years of renting out, maybe like 2 people got pulled over ever that she knows of. And basically, yeah, you just have to follow the rules. Like, don't speed, don't run red lights,
Yeah.
always wear a helmet, and there's a pretty low chance of you getting pulled over. At least in the city, I think in the city of Da Nang, because I mean, all the police kind of know that all the foreigners are just
Yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting too. It's hard, those sort of like unspoken
yeah,
rules. There's definitely a different vibe about driving in Da Nang and
yeah,
like, yeah, fully like there's a tacit understanding that
yeah,
tourists rent motorbikes and drive them
yeah,
here and it's
yeah, exactly,
allowed.
yeah,
Like maybe the visa run thing, right? Like a
yeah,
lot of people before they get here, get to Southeast Asia in general,
yeah.
don't understand that there's like a long and pretty accepted history of visa runs.
I made like a video on like the border run stuff, and everyone's asking like, is this legal?
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, you can just go in and out. But I guess it's because like Thailand doesn't really allow that, right? You can't.
It's definitely changed.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I can link an interview with my buddy Mike who lives in Koh Samui, but he's someone who did visa runs in Thailand for like 7 or 8 years.
Also, you can.
Thailand now has a lot of different visa options, so they probably want you to use them.
Ah, I
You,
see.
you know what I mean? Like in
Yeah,
other
yeah,
words, like now that they have a digital nomad visa,
yeah.
they don't want people doing border runs because they're
Ah,
like, no, apply for a digital nomad visa, pay for it, right? Like,
that makes sense.
and you do have to wonder, like, once those visa options exist, maybe the visa runs will be
Yeah.
phased out. I mean, even in the 6 years I've been here, especially in Saigon, I've seen motorcycle helmets really start being enforced. And then the other big one was drinking and driving. When I
Ah,
first got here, there were so many people so drunk on motorbikes all the time.
really, really.
Yeah, and there's still, and I'm talking about in Saigon too, in really insane traffic.
Uh-huh.
And there still is, but now it's like there's a big crackdown. I can't remember when, 2020, 2021, and it was just sort of like, FYI, if we catch you drunk driving from now on, we're going to take your bike.
Yeah,
And that's one of the ways that things are enforced here is
yeah,
like not a money fine or whatever, but like we'll take your bike. And
yeah,
they have trucks and they load the bikes onto the trucks.
yeah,
And for a lot of people, like their bike is their
yeah.
livelihood, right? It's
Exactly.
their job, it's their freedom, it's their commute for their
Yeah,
whole family. So
yeah.
it's a real
I think that's good, yeah, to keep everyone accountable. And that's one of the reasons why I chose Da Nang first, because I saw that it wasn't as crowded as Hanoi and Saigon. I
yeah,
was scared of the traffic there. And I think it's really good to learn how to drive here, because
yes.
to me it's very safe. The only times I've ever heard of any of my friends getting pulled over, so I've never been pulled over, but any of my friends only said that they've been pulled over when they're doing like a road trip to like Hanoi or Hue or something.
Yeah. You mentioned landing, like having a soft landing first in a hostel and meeting people that way.
Yeah.
How has social life been? Like obviously being sort of isolated or ostracized and one of the hardest parts about
Yeah.
living abroad or expat life. So How have you found it?
Actually, yeah, it's really easy to meet people here, I think. I mean, yeah, there's so many Facebook groups, so many social activities. Like, I found like a chess group that
Yeah.
plays at a cafe every week. There's like pickleball groups, badminton, yeah, basically anything you can think of. The only thing that I would say is, I mean, I've gotten used to like meeting people and then them leaving. So
Mm.
I've met so many people and then had to say goodbye. So I do feel like it's constantly rotating, which means that yeah, I have to keep finding new friends.
Yeah, we've made lots of good friends in Da Nang, but then I also had a lot of them leave. Maybe not a struggle, but it's been a disappointment, right?
Yeah,
It's been disappointing to think like, oh, like, we make friends with this family, our kids start playing together,
yeah,
and then they're gone 3 months later, they're
yeah,
gone 6 months later,
yeah,
and it does sort of have that transient vibe,
yeah,
which maybe is just maybe that's part of Da Nang.
yeah.
Maybe it is that place. It's a tourist place,
I think
maybe.
so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So do you
So
have thoughts of moving anywhere else in Vietnam or Southeast Asia then?
I do want to explore Vietnam more now. So I've been studying Vietnamese for the past like 9 months, and now I think I'm getting a little better where I can maybe start venturing out and
Hmm.
exploring more places and yeah, make more Vietnamese friends.
How have you done that? What did you enroll at a school, study online, self-directed stuff, or like Anki flashcards?
Yeah, I did a little bit of all of those things. I started with Duolingo, but then when I came here, I quickly realized I didn't know any of the tones. I didn't
Yeah.
know how to read it. I should have started with the very basics. But when I came here, I just went to like a Vietnamese school. It's called Go Vietnamese
Hmm.
in An Thuong, and yeah, so I have one-on-one lessons twice a week, and I thought that's been very good for me.
Has it like already changed your social experience here, even just learning a little bit of Vietnamese?
The language is really hard.
Yeah, no
I'm
shit.
I'm still struggling, and yeah, sometimes like recently I just went outside of the city. Like literally, I drove 20 minutes outside the city. I went to a market and I couldn't understand anything that the aunties were saying. I was like, is this the same language? Like, how is it? Like, I went 20 minutes out and all of a sudden I don't understand anything anymore.
A lot of one of the things that I find insane is that,
Yeah,
or like so difficult, is that
yeah,
almost everything you find online is
yeah.
Hanoian Vietnamese,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Duolingo, all the
Yeah,
online, all the YouTube, it's almost all the traditional Hanoian Viet.
yeah,
Okay. My entire experience was in Saigon,
uh-huh.
totally different. When we moved here last year,
Yeah.
I was literally just like, I wanted to like
What
throw
is
up my hands. Like I was like, what the heck?
Yeah,
I don't understand. And it was like
yeah,
so instant. It was like in the airport,
yeah.
Like I was like,
Yeah,
oh
so that's
god.
the thing. I was learning the Hanoi accent in Duolingo, and then when I came here, my teacher was like, "Okay, you gotta pick one accent to stick with." And so I was like, "All right, well, if I'm gonna be in Da Nang, I gotta learn the Da Nang accent." And so that's when I stopped Duolingo.
For the person watching at home, they're still worried about taking the leap. What's some, a couple basic tips, maybe two or three tips for that person who wants to live abroad for the first time?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing for me, I think, was just yeah, doing your research. I mean, I just once I saw that first YouTube video, I think I got a little obsessed, and yeah, the more and more you like do some research and kind of figure out like, hey, this might be possible. Like, I think I can do this. The more you get that in your head, like, I can do this. I think that's the first step to shifting your mindset to like,
Yeah.
there's no way I could do this to I think I can do this. Like, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
make this work.
The mental blocks are real and they're
Yes.
personal.
Yes.
Okay, and what about that? What's the next step after getting over the mental block?
The next step is probably like just being realistic. Like, how much do you have saved up? So, I mean, at that point, I was just trying to save up all my money. I also like sold everything too, so
Mm-hmm.
uh, I kind of like didn't really give myself a backup. I just was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm going all in. I might as well because like I was thinking if I'm gonna leave Hawaii, I might as well go as far as I can. I'm gonna go to Vietnam.